Man, that explains a lot. It's gonna hurt if it gets there. I'm going to vomit. When you see a unit get its health deleted so quickly, it's psyched above all, they'll say. Alright, all of his infantry is in full retreat under heavy artillery fire, so that's very promising. It's really just a matter of focusing him down now. I've never seen someone in such a full speed. He's catching up to the chariot. He's full tilt, Sigvald, it's different. Oh, there's also Harold Hammerstorm. It was just Harold hit by a car. Oh, Sigvald's getting melted now. Because he's vanished? Alright, I'll take it. Fuck you, Sigvald. I was playing all along. I always knew you couldn't hang. Once I brought out my incredible insecurity, it was just a matter of time before he got uncomfortable and decided to leave. All in all, I'm pretty pleased with how this went. I don't know about you, big guy, but you look like you had a fun time. And now the only thing left is Harold Hammerstorm over here. He's a real monstrosity. Okay, listen, Harold, if I have to hit you with my car any more times, it's gonna be okay. It was getting a little awkward. You know, it's like when there's like you hit the roadkill and it's still kind of alive, so then you start like stepping on it with your big warp boot, but it's not dying, and you start to feel worse. And you're like, oh, maybe if I didn't start stepping on it, it would have survived. That's how I started feeling there. Okay, post-battle report. I lost some pretty good units. Those barrel whites, it hurts. But Sigvald's army is pretty much dead, which is massive. And we're going to take this castle. Close victory. Alright, that settles that. Oh my god, winning that battle against Sigvald skyrocketed me up from bankruptcy to 12,000 gold. Very excited about that. Okay, gentlemen, I think we're sitting at the precipice of greatness. 83 turns into the fucking game, but we've cleared out almost all the Chaos armies. There's one here, and one rebuilding. And this guy doesn't even count because he's just some kind of like furry fan club. We're doing alright. Yeah, we're gonna make it. The issue is there can be no peace with these people. You know, a peace treaty to them is it's a ceasefire for about 3 turns before they start invading your territory again. So I can't even like take a break exactly. I really need to keep my foot on the pedal, keep the gas going, and just decapitate Sigvald. Probably the only thing that's gonna end this. What is wrong with you? Every time I think I've got things under control, someone comes shuffling and dancing and helicoptering their talk onto stage left. I'm getting tired of it. And you're dead. And you're dead. Oh, I can feel my blood pressure lowering with each Chaos army that I kill. This is cathartic. Recruiting another one right away. Yeah, don't want to, let me enjoy the game or anything. That would be a sin. Yes. Oh, fuck yeah, I really thought I was going to lose there at the end for a minute.
Level up your wallet. Score up to $20,000 with the Kentucky Lottery's all-in Pac-Man scratch-off game. Bring the arcade to your pocket and chase down a win. Are you ready? Grab your Pac-Man scratch-off tickets at a Kentucky Lottery retailer today. Pac-Man is registered and copyrighted by Bandai Namco Entertainment. Checkers and rallies do pretzel lobster fun butt combo, just 8 night right. Over a quarter pound of beef and beer cheese on a pretzel butt with our famous seasoned fries and a drink, all for just $5. Only at Checkers and Rallies.
Oh my god. Alright, so we've secured the northern shoreline of Scandinavia. Can I prevent another Normandy landing from the Vikings? You see they're preparing over there on the other side of the channel. Yeah, your arm's stuck. I'm gonna fucking force march you. I don't even care. Do something about it. You won't. Yes, I'm cheating to see where you went. I don't care. Beyond honor at this point. Die. Oh, great. I haven't even finished this little side project here, and I just got a notification the end is not. The Great Wall is coming. I'd pay like $1,000 if I press a button. Defensive alliance. No, you're at war with every Dark Elf faction in the game. I do wish to intercept them. Oh yeah, bringing me back to life, baby. Okay, so I've taken care of most of the beastmen back home. I'm just capturing a couple of settlements here, but what's more important is that I've kind of seized control of the channel. I've got 2 armies patrolling it. All right, this is it, fellas. We've finally taken control of Scandinavia, TM, work in progress. But more importantly, we're preparing our amphibious landing in Chaos territory. All right, so for my invasion of the Chaos Waste, my plan is basically to use the same tactics they were using to invade me, which is that I can cover a lot more distance via the water than they can cover on land. So I can kind of dart around back and forth to different places, and just whichever one I feel is the most vulnerable, I can nab it. So let's go down in this direction here towards the Fetid Catacombs, and I'm going to make him split his forces. Sigvald will either have to go there or he'll have to have the Twisted Towers. Can't have it both ways. Alright, there we have it. So Sigvald has moved. What I'm going to try is I'm going to just try to beeline it for the Twisted Towers, which I think is Sigvald's capital, if I'm not mistaken. Remarkably, he's very cautious. He didn't build any walls in it whatsoever, or any garrison. It's just level 4 base garrison. I'm going to try to take it. Even if he force marches, he shouldn't be able to catch me. Okay, very interesting. So Sigvald has decided to ignore me going for his capital city. He doesn't think I can take it. It's a decisive victory, dickhead. I'm gonna occupy it, and I'll make a bit of money for doing it. Alright, I was curious to see how Sigvald would react to me taking his capital, and to put it simply, he did not appreciate it, because he's now got 2 full stacks ready to, no kind way to put this, Kyle, you're gonna die. But that's alright. He's going all in on me, I'll go all in on him. I've got this full stack over here. See how much damage I can inflict before he decides to think twice about this decision. Fantastic. And the Beastmen are now officially dead, so that's going to free up my 3rd army. I wanted to use him to reclaim these territories. They're just ruins right now, but he's going to have to be playing cleanup for Surtha Ek. Monolith of Catan has been besieged. Close defeat. I'm going to have to fight that, and I'm going to definitely lose. Alright, so Sigvald doesn't care that I'm running around back here just pissing all over the place, but his Viking ally does. They're pretty upset about it, in fact. I think I'm going to have to fight full army, half army, and a garrison. I think this is just one of the moves we got to make. If it's one of the daring things we have to. Oh, it's a close victory. Okay, well I was getting all amped up. I was like, oh, this is what separates the men from the boys. They're gone. Faction Varg destroyed. They were a major pain in the ass. So with them gone, that simplifies it down to Argonet. I haven't even seen these guys all game. Decadent Host and Agham. Now you might say, oh, Reggie, things are finally turning your way, and the answer to that is yes, but dun dun dun. Sigvald and Wolrich besieging Kyle at the Monolith of Catan. Now I've invested quite a bit in this little that's a lot for these settlements with the turnover rate they have. I'm gonna have to fight this. I'm gonna have to try to win. All right, Kyle. Everything is resting on you. If you can defeat 2 full armies using only Tier 1 infantry and a garrison full of Tier 1 infantry, then both of their armies are dead, and we can just kill everything. And if not, it's just going to be another name on my suicide note. Kyle, I know you're probably pretty mad at me right now for making you fight this battle, but I want to tell you that God gives his toughest struggles to his strongest warriors, and that's you and your profound disregard for clothing. I have to bring out my strongest strategy to date, which is, of course, the classic noob corner. I can take it. Whatever you got, Sigvald, my men, my real men, can handle it. Look at this man. The determination on his face. He's never wanted anything more in his life than to die in this field. And when it's going to bust open, I really hope this doesn't turn into another one of those fights where I have to micro for 37 minutes just to eke out a small victory. Alright, we've got archers that missed all of their... How did you miss every shot on the Manticore? I hope I lose now. I want all of those archers to die. Left flank, getting savaged. Not going well over here. Needs more vortex. Kind of an underwhelming vortex ability. Honestly, the lore... we have access to all the shittiest lores in this faction. Alright, well that didn't go so well. Well, did it not go so well though? We really messed them up pretty good actually. They lost 1,100 pretty high quality units. I don't want to talk about how much we lost, but Kyle fucking nuts. Killed 300 people. I've come to expect nothing less from a man that wears no clothes and only like random metal knickknacks that he's found at the dump. Alright, well, Kyle's just gonna have to have his last stand here at the Monolith Tom. I think it'll be fine. I think he'll inflict enough damage that Zayden will be able to finish them off. That's what I'm hoping for. I don't know why all of my generals sound like they were named by like a 60-year-old white woman. Alright, Kyle, you can hold out for one more turn, buddy. One more turn, Kyle. Earl Dirac is right around the corner. God damn it, Kyle. Hang in there, big guy. Anyway, in anticipation of Kyle's imminent death, I'm going to start recruiting secondarily, I think. Alright, so unfortunately, they did decide to go in on Kyle, just running it down mid. Come on, you loser. Come get me. All of his guys are bunched up. Let me get the snare on. And the bunch kind of stopped a little bit, but I'll still get a vortex out of it. Yeah, that's just alright. Fairly disappointing for a vortex spell, but whatever. I have 100 mana in the power bank, and unless you force me to rout, I'm going to spend this entire battle running around in circles shooting fireballs at you. I don't care. It's what I want to be doing with my life right now. Alright, you got me. Alright, moment of silence for Kyle.
Just suffer. When enemies push you to the edge, it's you who controls the rhythm of battle. Don't give up. Step into the growth touch.
Very nice, that was beautiful. So now Earl Dirac gets to 2v1 these busted up armies. With Sigvald's main armies defeated and much of his military infrastructure now under our control, I spent the next 20 turns gradually steamrolling his empire and expanding our borders all the way to the Dark Elves. Meanwhile, the High Elves decided to become the unofficial endgame crisis by going on a wanton killing spree and absolutely mutilating all of the other factions, including Malekith. With the Dark Elves being our last enemy, this put us in a very promising position. Alright, so with Sigvald defeated, we are rapidly closing in on our final and, I guess, unofficial enemy, but I think it's worth it. I want to fight the Dark Elves, and these guys are the only remaining Dark Elves. They're the last of their species, because the High Elves have gone absolutely mental. Captured a little bit of territory. So,
I'm continuing. Quick! Act surprised.
alright, Vegeta is finally out. Here we are. Look at him. We have some new messages. We'll go over all of us in there on the previous video.
8. I got the same funds as you to start.
Someone. Commanding an army. The violent pottery, flying squadrons of animated literature, and a battalion of rotary flamethrowers is objectively very fun, but it does not hold a candle to the utter bliss one can attain by entombing their enemies in a living cocoon made of 12,000 human slaves. That's why for today's video, I'm going to be using the Lost Factions Araby mod to attempt to beat the game with my entire economy and military being comprised exclusively of slave labor. To do this, we'll be using Sultan Jafar.
I'm after those slaves.
Because his primary mechanic revolves entirely around the decimation of the French countryside. First, we need to take Araby, then Kilia, and then Bretonia to achieve victory. Our only tools to accomplish this will be our generals, one hero, and a lot of slaves. Can we abuse enough human rights to come out on top, or will the Bretonians use their superior mass to fling us into an early grave? There's only one way to find out. But before we do that, I have to tell you something. 12 years ago, I entered a fugue state and opened the emergency exit on a commercial airliner. The tremendous air pressure sucked me out into the lower stratosphere and left me stranded on a deserted island. My only company was a pygmy tribesman named Toto, and my favorite activity was getting heat stroke. You're probably wondering what was keeping me going through all of this. Well, I'll tell you, it was Raid Shadow Legends, a high-octane gaming experience with over 800 champions, 30 bosses, and 4 million users. I knew that between April 15th and May 30th, Raid was hosting a spring hunt minigame, with prizes such as free consoles, legendary champions, and $10,000 of Amazon gift cards. All I had to do to participate was escape this island, head to this address, enter my raid ID, and begin hunting for the rewards. At the time, it was May 14th, 2012, which only gave me 4,399 days to make it home in time to participate, so I knew I had to move fast. That night, I sprinted around the island on all fours, rapidly assembling a makeshift raft. I even bludgeoned Toto with a rock and repurposed him into a sail. 5 weeks at sea later, I had arrived at civilization, stole the child's phone, and downloaded Raid. And I recommend you do the same, because when you scan my QR code, you'll get a starter pack of free stuff, such as Epic Champion K-Rel. And after reaching level 25, you'll also get a Rector Draft. Very nice. Also, don't forget to use promo code SPRINGHUNT24 to get a bunch of free silver and much more. So, download Raid, participate in the Spring Hunt, and come join my clan, or else something bad might happen. Add over. And just when we thought the Middle East couldn't get any more complicated, Sultan Jafar shows up and tries to take it over using only slaves. What that means is we're going to be disbanding our army right off the start. You know, the Genie, the Arabian Nights, all of it. Instead, I choose the warm, vanilla comfort of pure slavery. Now, the rule is that our generals are only allowed to have one hero, and everything else has to be a slave or some variant of a slave. So if we look at the infrastructure panel, this is the slave tech tree. Two things. We have Slave Bazaar, that gives us slave rabble, and then we have the arena, which gives us pit fighters. If we even get the pit fighters, they're basically just slaves with armor. But the primary concern right now is that we have enemies, and they want to stop us from achieving a slave utopia. Can't imagine why, but it looks like there's one right here, Clovis. He's, his army is not particularly great, but it certainly looks better than two people. However, we have a little trick I'm going to show you. First, I'm going to build a slave bazaar, and then I'm going to go to the Grand Bazaar, and I can press this button to purchase slaves, 200 gold apiece. Press that like 20 times, and suddenly I have a full stack of slaves. Okay, here we are on the battlefield. We have, as you can see, a lovely selection of dirty men with slave collars and outlets. You know, they're not much to look at, and they're even less to command in battle. But what we're going to do is form them into a brick, a highly dense brick of human rights violations. And we're just going to flood them into the enemy forces. This is ridiculous. Look at this. This is a sea of bodies. Oh my god. Really don't expect much from them. However, we have a secret weapon here, and it's not me getting this video demonetized in 30 seconds or less. It's this ability right here, the transformation of the Jinn. See, right now you're looking at Sultan Jafar, and you're probably thinking, old man, bunion, broken hips, you know? But when we use this ability, it's going to transform into something more powerful than you could ever imagine. The opponent is charging us, and he's going to regret that, because Jafar is now using his ability, and he goes from old man to demonic entity that destroys entire realms. So you could probably guess, we're going to be doing most of our work with the heroes in this playthrough. The slaves are, they're good for just running people down. Like, look at these archers, for example. These archers have no chance against... Like, usually an archer has to contend with, like, oh no, like, one unit of infantry is coming after me. Try 700. They're also, the slaves are pretty good for wrapping around your enemies. So, like, these knights, once we get a wrap around on them, they're going to be far less effective. We've trapped them in our human meat shield. Try to escape. It's too late. Never mind. The slaves, you see, the issue with the slaves is they're all anemic and underweight, so they have a very low mass. And it makes it very easy for the cavalry to push them around. Look at these knights trying to escape. It's like a zombie apocalypse for them. Oh my god. This is hilarious. And speaking of, the battle is finally finished. We've achieved victory. Very nice. So if you look at the kill screen right now, this is something we're going to become very familiar with. Sultan Jafar basically doing all of the work, and then the slaves split like 25 kills between them. Some are overachievers, they got third and fourth section. Okay, so battle completed. We now have an option to them, and there's just a lot of utility in enslaving them. It's a deceptively powerful mechanic. Okay, so I just want to finish off this army that ran away from us. Currently, they have no commander, and half of them are dead. Still, the game is offering me a Pyrrhic victory auto-resolve, so let's just go in there and clean that up. But around this point, you'll also notice some disadvantages being a giant levitating demon. The first one is that you have no sense of friendly fire whatsoever. You just kind of... yeah, that's why you don't want to do it. That's why you want to avoid that. The second difficulty with using Sultan Jafar in this Jinn form is that his spells are substantially more expensive. Spirit Leech costs 8. So when I'm in this form, it's very much just for slapping people around, and then we transform back to a normal person to have spells on them. Okay, so we've defeated our enemy, but the issue is Sultan Jafar took a pretty big spanking, and his old man, rectum can't hold up against spankings very effectively. So we're going to put him somewhere like over here. Now, the primary issue is that we need more slaves, but it's cost ineffective to just be buying them on the slave market. Why buy secondhand when you can go right to the source, which is Al-Hayy? I'm trying to build the slave bazaar, but it's going to take 2 turns. However, like the saying goes, sometimes you have to spend slaves to make slaves. So we can click this button to, it's not really clear what they do, but we can spend 600 slaves to instantly build this building. I'm just assuming that it's kind of like throwing money at a situation, it's just like, just fix it, get it done faster, except it's human lives in this case. So we're going to press that button, and now we have Slave Bazaar, and we can start recruiting. Very nice. Now, taking stock of our situation here, we basically have 3 enemies right out of the gate. So these guys here at Murtec, then after that, there is Raponce here, who is notorious for being French, and that's just not going to work out. It's not going to mesh well with my worldviews. And then on the right side, we also have Bandits. They're also Bretonians, so we're probably going to bounce around, killing all of the French people at the start. And our only chance of doing that successfully is going to be if we can specialize our entire society into slave combat. So there's a few options we have. The first thing is we go into technology here, and there's only like one option that really helps us, but luckily it's right here at the start. Most societies believe that freedom is an intrinsic human right, but here in Araby, we kind of think it's more of like something you earn, but that's okay, because once you earn it, you get 5 more melee attacks and weapon strength. So we're going to start with that. Also, we can upgrade our heroes to kind of buff the slave units a little bit with Sultan's Royal Armory. I think the only thing left to do on turn 1 is set out a trade caravan. Araby, as well as many other factions, have a caravan mechanic where you can recruit a caravan. That was meant to be. This guy has slave drivers, so his army is composed pretty much entirely of slaves. We'll get him. And we don't command this guy, so the fact that he has other units, I'm just going to let that slide. But what we do with him is we give him a bunch of money, somebody even 1,000 gold, and tell him to go somewhere with it. He goes down here, but it's 3,000. I think it'll be safer if he goes up here. It'll be 2,500, so it's less money, but it'll be safer if he doesn't have to go through hostile territory. We're going to send him out, but he'll just kind of go do that, automatically by himself. Okay, with all of that being done, it's time to end our first turn. Okay, turn 2. Raponce has taken Papyrus, and we are still probably the weakest faction in the game. I think it's going to make sense for us to get a second general at this point. So let's take a look at the menu, and if we're lucky, we'll get someone with a good trade perfect. So Nasheed Al-Rahman is a Grand Vizier of Light and is a Slave Master ability. So recruitment cost minus 50%, recruitment cost minus 15% in a general sense, and then melee attack plus 8. That'll help us with the slaves. If we look at this, it costs them $25 to buy 160 men. Editor, can you work out the math on that? How much are we charging per person? It's like a couple fucking pennies. It's going to be a couple nickels and dimes. Jafar is in a pretty good situation here. He's got some life fast. I'm going to take him over here. I'm going to take my other general and put him right next to him. And I'm going to do the old classic here. We just instantly fill his army with slaves. I think we might be able to put them. Let's try. If we just take a Pyrrhic victory, it would be like a very Pyrrhic victory. I think I'll just circle them and see what we can do. Okay, so the enemies have sallied out to attack us. Their army doesn't look too threatening at all, except the field trebuchet. That's going to kill a lot of slaves. Okay, just barely, by the skin of our teeth, we managed to defeat our enemies at Marquette. Another mechanic that some people don't know about, I didn't know about until recently, you can highlight any damaged units and then merge them together, so now you have a full stack. I can do that, and then I can just walk over here and go to Grand Bazaar, buy a bunch more slaves, and then we're ready to siege again. And the battle results are a little better. We're going to lose like a lot of people, but it's thousands. So let's just take this auto resolve. A couple people died. No big deal. Now, staying in infantry is defeated. Very nice. And we have a nice piece of armor. Wow. Okay. And we also got the sandstorm staff, which gives us that's a really powerful vortex building. So that's going to be helpful later. Just good items. This whole marketplace, there's a lot of cool stuff we can buy here. I usually use this for slaves, but there's all these types of swords, armor, enchanted items, and arcade items as well. So once we get our economy a little more established, we can start finding some things to really buff up our heroes and our legendary lore. Okay, so our first enemy and our only official enemy is now defeated. So what do we want to do from this point in the game? Probably start building up another really big army. I'm going to want 2 more armies before I can even think about fighting Rapunzel. Because look at this, she has actual people with like real weapons. Okay, so I passed a couple of turns really quickly, and we completed another trade caravan, which is a very nice place economically. What we're going to do is I'm going to buy a bunch of slave rebels, completely flesh out the armies with them. I'm hoping that the 3 of us maybe can take this city. Now the bigger issue is that Virus, where Rapunzel has quite a lot of cavalry and presumably some artillery archers. Okay, that doesn't make any sense. But our Anessa Saltzpyre has just decided to declare war on me from all the way across the ocean. This shouldn't be a big deal, but it'll be annoying. Oh, and Rapunzel, okay, yeah. Well, at least Rapunzel made sense. I mean, I have like 600,000 people outside of one of her cities, so I kind of see where she's coming from, I guess. Oh, so Rapunzel attacked me with just 1 army, basically, and supposedly I'm going to have a valiant defeat here. Well, let's find out. All right, here we are at the Battle of Takeover. You can see we have, of course, our usual amalgamation of stuff. So the game plan is as simple as usual. It's really just march forward, try to avoid the gigantic rocks that they're going to throw at us, but, you know, if it happens, it happens. I think the primary goal here is really, it should just be to kill Rapunzel. You know, this hollow-eyed lunatic, God can only imagine the countless thousands of people she's killed personally and the millions that she's responsible for killing. So you could say that defeating her is, you know, like priority. Let's start moving because the reinforcements are going to be coming in soon, so we'll get those in. Now, it's so unfortunate that we can only field, I think, 40 units at a time. I mean, yes, I would want to end my own life if I had to field 60, but the numbers would be helpful. This is good. We're catching them kind of out of position here, like their archers aren't very well defended, for example. There she is. Beating up was our other cruel. She's absolutely railing the shit out of them. Gotta get more people on her. They just have to smother her. Their archers are somewhere in the middle of this mosh pit of just human suffering. So that's quite nice. They're not going to be firing for the rest of the battle at this rate. Jesus Christ. Please don't die. Shit, he's so fucked. Come on. You're fine, bro. You're fine. You're fine, dude. No one can do shit against Rapunzel. She's just a killing machine. She's such a beast, bro. She's such an animal. Okay, we've managed to isolate Rapunzel finally in this little corner of the map. I've got 2 generals left. They're closing in on her position. Come on, come on, come on, come on, come on, come on. You know what? Some collateral damage there, but I'll take it. Rapunzel is dead. So they're going to be a little, you know, upset that they just lost their lord. Okay, good news and bad news. Good news, the battlefield's looking a lot more clean. Bad news is it's a lot cleaner because everyone's dead, mostly our own units. Have I mismanaged my resources? Maybe. Am I going to take responsibility for it? Never. Never publicly. Only after I turn the recording off, and I'll beat myself up for it. All that remains is this funny little lady. Look at her. She's looking at that dead body. She doesn't know what to make of this. I think she's in shell shock. This is a gruesome battlefield, truly. Well, well, well. What do you know? It only took me 23 minutes. This isn't even a late game battle. This is like the fourth battle of the entire game. We sacrificed 5,500 people to kill 1,000. I'm not saying like I'm proud of that, and there's going to be a lot of families that we're going to have to inform, but we got W. We're finally establishing some dominance in the region. The Bretts have one person left, and I think we can take this. Ooh, I hadn't considered this. I forgot I have this fourth army in the back here. Let's slave him up and then take him right to Pyrrhus. Oh yeah, so we just captured Pyrrhus, and you can see here Pyrrhus just got checked off our list, so that gets us a little further on Jafar's revenge. Okay, Kofor is ours. Bretts officially almost defeated. I mean, there's like some homeless vagrants staring into the ocean longingly. Now we're going to turn our attention to Pirates of Sartosa. I think I have a pretty good shot at just blitzing Sartosa itself with like 3 armies. We almost have tier 3 towns, and once we get tier 3 towns, we can get the arena, and once we have that, we can get semi-feasible units. Baroness Assault Spire is making her way across the ocean towards us. She has a nice selection of, oh my god, these death gunners are going to shred my slaves. It's really bad. Baronessa just dive-bombed right into Pyrrhus, and reading a Pyrrhic Victor, this has got to be like the best Pyrrhic Victor I'm ever going to get. I'll take that all day. Baronessa really bumbled her campaign here by suiciding into Pyrrhus, and now I have 3 full stacks barreling down on her capital city, which is, to be fair, pretty well defended. Staying behind to defend will be Sultan Jafar, because I just don't like the way Ark in the Black looks. There's something about a reanimated skeleton with glowing eyeballs that I just inherently don't trust. But I will always trust the Pyrrhic Victory medium casualties. They're determined to end their campaign as quickly as possible. This is bizarre. They just keep taking their full armies and sacrificing them into 3 stacks. See, this is what I'm talking about. Dwarves have declared war on me, but they're reliable. They're reliably dickheads. That's the only thing I can say. Okay, the dwarves are attacking Marten, and they captured Marten. Oh god. They have a lot of blasting charges, and I'm just like mentally I'm playing through that in my head, watching like hundreds of slaves get blasted all over the map. It's not good. Alright, I'll say one thing about our enemies here. They've inflicted a lot of attrition to us. We're certainly not rolling up to Sartosa looking healthy. This is an interesting situation I'm in right now. I'm just seeing Sartosa, and we're starving them out, but they're also killing us with vampiric corruption. So here's what I'm going to do. I go to Corsair Merchant, and I think this thing, Dagger of Truth, and it makes me immune to vampiric attrition for one Lord's army. It's fucking expensive, but I think it might be worth it. Give it to this guy since he has a bigger army and stands to benefit from it more. Okay, fantastic. So now we only have 1 army taking attrition damage. I can live with that. I'll send it through. Am I going to sacrifice tens of thousands of people to avoid a siege battle? No, because I'm pretty sure I can just kill Jesse Hogsworth and then all of his friends will leave. Let's try this. Oh shit. I've messed.
Light Fighting Link is raising the bar by crafting the next generation of light beer. With only 2.6 carbs and 95 calories, this is premium refreshment 6 generations in the making. Light Fighting Link. Raise the bar.
It's called New Speed.
mess this up. I thought he was going to be by himself with the other people coming in as reinforcements. Shit. Alright, let's reorient really quickly. Let's go over here, wait for our reinforcements. So there's some immediate issues that we're going to contend with here. The pirates have guns. Right now the battle plan is probably just to make them run out of ammo. Because there's no way they brought enough bullets for this, right? I'll say one nice thing that is working in our favor is that we have this guy with the lure of Shin, and I can use a burning hand to light people on fire. Now, undead are especially vulnerable to fire. Also, I can use this to summon in mirages. Now, a mirage is not real, so the unit that I summon is not breaking the rules because it's not real, and also because my guy's going to die before he gets a chance. Because, guns go pretty hard in this game. We've slowly managed to whittle down the undead numbers, and it's just this guy, Jesse Hogsworth, who has, like, unshakable confidence in his ability to win. But all of his teammates are dead. Jesse's just starting to realize that now, and he's troubling. The realization of this black pill is literally ripping his body apart. You know what to do, Jesse. Put it in your mouth and pull the trigger. Notch this down in the history books. We just won a battle without losing over 1,000 units. There's going to be holidays on this day. There's going to be people named after this battle. Okay, so we've got Sartosa, and that's basically, as a man, as a human being, when you lose your capital, it's like a castration of your soul. You never really come back from that. My caravan is on a little mission here, and I have an option to punish the rival caravan for their insolence and make $2,000, which is like objectively I should definitely do that. But also, instead, I could get flying carpets. There's the temptation to get the flying carpets. I'll take the money. Let's put the flying carpets on screen. Yeah, look at that. Maybe we can even put them on screen killing someone. Back home, I need to do something with these dwarves. Fortunately, we now have access to the pit fighters. These guys, I actually have to pay them real money. I don't just pay their salary and expired Burger King coupons that they eat for nourishment. Of these dwarves are getting cocky now. He's shown up, he's making a ruckus, he's raiding. He's also looking at Topher like he wants to jam his fucking dick inside of it. So chances are I'm gonna kill this guy. Okay, we're finally getting our shot against the dwarves here. They've launched a siege on Topher. That's so cheeky. I can buy slaves even though I'm being besieged. Usually you can't reinforce yourself like that. If we take this guy out, then dwarves will be largely defenseless. Okay, look, I'll level here. I could take this auto-resolve. I wouldn't even miss any of these units at all. But I want to see a bunch of slaves controlling my satchel charges. So we're just gonna see how this one plays out. Also, this is a really great opportunity for me to take a look at our pit fighters. Okay, we've clearly been feeding them. It's a big step forward from the osteoporotic, emaciated, filthy slaves. These guys are thick. They got chains all over them. They have enraged. So if they're less than 50% health points, they just see red. They start freaking out, punching themselves in the head, and they get a little stronger. Yeah, they're just kind of good. I didn't want the garrison here, but they're going to make a great front line. The great advance has begun. Dwarves are up there on the mountain waiting for us. These guys, they'll get into melee combat, but before they do that, they like to throw a little TNT at you, just to set the mood. Oh, yeah, that's gratuitous. That's terrible. I think it's just a garrison. Yeah, those blasting charges were not nice, but we're now flooding around the enemies. Also, this is a great opportunity for me to use this new spell I unlocked. This is, I believe, the Sandstorm it's called. Oh, yeah. Okay. Okay. Kind of took a bad turn. There and just killed all of my units, but theoretically very strong. I gotta imagine this dwarf must feel like just super powered right now. He swings that hammer in any direction, even 2 inches, and people just go flying. They're not getting up either. Well, that guy did. He got up. Anyway, dwarves are maybe around this time regretting their decision to try to invade me. Alright, looks like the dwarves are in full retreat. Oh, it's a huge power spike. The Sultan just unlocked the Serpent Staff, which is okay, some nice magic attacks, armor piercing and stuff. But the real thing is the Serpent Staff ability. You can use it as much as you want. There's a cooldown on it, but it just makes an explosion that doesn't impact friendlies, which is kind of surprising, and it poisons all of your enemies, and it melts people. So I'm gonna equip that immediately, yes. Okay, so let's take a look at our situation here. Overall, it's very good. Sartosa is, you know, they're like a weak little gimp boy. We're gonna go slap them around a bit for comedic effect. The dwarves, right, we just finished lobotomizing them, and generally, as long as no one else declares war on us, it will be okay. The dwarves want a peace treaty. You know, the thing about this is, Mr. Thick-Stolson, I actually don't care about you. You're like an ant beneath my boot. If I kill you, it's just completely inconsequential to me. But when the ant mobilizes a military and starts trying to kill me, then it feels a little personal. You know what I mean? Before, I was just going to let you go scavenge for little pieces of candy bar and live in an ant colony. But now I think I'm going to have to kill you. And no, I'm quite certain of it. So I'm going to decline your peace treaty. You're going to attack me and lose. I'm not going to lie, the immediacy of that was kind of entertaining. Like the second I clicked no, he was ready to suicide dive bomb me. I kind of respect it, but I'm going to kill you nonetheless. That's Marta. Dwarves have been doing terrible, terrible things to my lovely city. I thought I'd never see a decisive victory, low casualties, auto-resolve, but here we are. Alright, on the warpath here, Ark in the Black is on this feature. Oh, Ark in the Black is at war with the dwarves. Well, I'm just going to steal this bit from under him, which is almost certainly going to piss him off, and then he'll probably declare war on me. Oh, look at Arkin. Trying to race me through the canyon to reach Vulture Mountain so he can just eke out like a little bit of territory in this cruel, cruel world. Well, I got news for you, buddy. Not on my watch. Probably not on my watch. I feel like Arkin is just on the cuck stool this entire campaign. Can't get any territory, I'm taking it all. And then when he finally shows up at Vulture Mountain, I just use his armies to make me win this without any casualties. Actually, speaking of, I'm gonna have to kill him. Yeah, I need the Sorcerer's Island, the Witness Calip's place palace, and yeah, I'm gonna need all of this. There it is. He finally got tired of sitting on the cuck stool, and now he's ready to declare war on me. Oh, actually, this is really bad. He has two armies right next to Shafar. Okay, he's attacking Vulture Mountain with Arkin the Black, but his army kind of sucks. I'll take this auto-resolve. Okay, so after Arkin dove headfirst into a bone pulverizing machine, which is my army, we've unlocked the Black Book of the Hidden I'm going to say that word very carefully, Nagazar. Any word that starts with an N, you know, in this space, be careful. Now, what's nice of that is there's a slight issue, which is that Arkin is still technically alive, and this army's really hanging on by thread. What we can do about this? Oh, of course, I know what to do. Just buy a bunch of slave rabble. How unfair is that? Arkin just sacrificed everything just to whittle my army down, and then on my turn, I'm just like, lol, what if I had 700,000 slaves, though? You dumb bastard. Oh, you fucking idiot. You know what? I really could have just auto-resolved that, but I don't like Arkin, and I do like drowning him in a sea of slaves and watching him slowly crumble. So, that's what we're gonna do. Alright, Big Daddy Arkin, come get it. Okay, Arkin has just caused all of my units to go into rampage mode, which I'm pretty sure stops them from retreating, which is like the one weakness of slaves, fighting pretty much anything is their weakness. But he's not a smart guy, is what I'm getting at, and I'm going to now encase him. I'm going to entomb Arkin the Black in his own little pyramid, except it's going to be a pyramid made out of slaves instead of a pyramid made by slaves. What the hell happened to Lazar? That's cruel. Oh shit, I think he died. Yeah, that looks like he might have died. The price I paid.
Do you know why you can't defeat these bosses? It's because, in Maple Island, boss fights require more than auto battle. They have powerful skills that you need to dodge to survive.
But those attacks have a warning. Just move out of the danger zone quickly, and you'll be safe.
That's easy, right?